I'm Michael Bennett. I'm the Managing Director of Insulating Windows. I've been in the role now for nearly 4 years, and the business pilot has been humongous for our development.
There we go. Well, look, that's it. We could stop the video just there. That would be perfect. But of course, I've got a few things to run through. The idea, obviously, we've known each other a while now, so and it's quite nice when we have these kind of chats with people that we've known for so long, because the whole purpose is that it is just a chat. I just want people to have a look inside Business Pilot, as it were, of the people inside it. So I guess a good place to start, and therefore I always start here, is almost talking about what was life like before Business Pilot, so we can give some context to the difference it brings. So with yourself, what would you say, how were things before Business Pilot?
Yeah, I mean, I came into the business just as we embraced Business Pilot, and what I saw was the people that were willing and the people that weren't willing. We had at the time quite an aged surveyor installations kind of side of our business, and their operation was somewhat stagnant. What I watched was essentially people be converted. I watched the old heads, the dinosaurs of the office, embrace the electric T cardboard, or the schedule board, as you guys call it. I mean, I've often spoke about how I believe you guys have digitalized our industry in a very positive manner and made it very much paperless. I mean, so much so that I can now manage the business and have my fingers on the pulse from home.
Yeah. I think so, and it's interesting that you're right. There's a lot of people in our industry that have been in the industry for a while. We joke around how once you're in, you never leave. And therefore a lot of people have already found ways to do things, and then along comes Business Pilot, and it's all new, and it's all digital, and it's all modern, which is amazing when you've put it in place. But there is a step before that, which is the actual putting it in place. So in terms of, and you started to talk about it there, but how would you say the team took to it generally?
Yeah, I mean, I think people had their resistance at the start because they couldn't understand what the return on investment was in terms of what their time investment would be and in terms of what they would get out of it. I think possibly because we onboarded so early in the process of Business Pilot, we kind of grew with you guys. So we watched new things be introduced, and it became something that worked really well for us, because initially it was a database, and then it kind of grew. You added the schedule board, you added on the purchase order section, and as it grew and grew, it became more and more relevant to further people within our business. And I think that it's been a really nice journey to kind of be on, and I can't wait to see where we end up in terms of the final product, if it ever is final, of course, because you guys keep adding stuff.
I was going to say, I don't ever see it being final. I just, I've got a final destination, as I suppose, in my mind, or not even a final destination. I've got a dream in my mind as to how we would help installers, but how we'd ever see the product as final, I can't see that. And it's interesting, you spoke there about various features coming along the way, and we're really keen on rolling out developments all the time, and you guys obviously get to see that. So Mike, you guys have clearly been on a journey with our development as well. You've been on a while, and you've seen all these features get added in, which is great, and we love adding features. But I wonder, if we just look at this point to date, and of course the video will soon be out of date because we're always adding new stuff, but as we stand today, what would you say your favorite feature is?
For me, I think the digital T cardboard, or the schedule board, it's been a game changer. It allows me to be in control of like, you know, the most important part of our business, which is making sure that the jobs are all scheduled in.
Yeah.
I can review, change, and do everything that I need to from home, which is, you know, which is great, and it really does help with us and the operation side of our business.
Yeah. Yeah. And schedule board comes up a lot. You know, it's the heart of Business Pilot, really. So many other big features that fall off it, status progression, BP mail, all this stuff. But actually,
Yeah.
let's face it, the heart of any installation business is getting things installed, scheduling things to be installed. So it's no surprise that the schedule board comes up a few times. You know, it's not always the one. Some people just say the biggest feature is having it all in one place, which, if you like, isn't even, it's not like a specific feature, but actually, yeah, good point. You know, it's a feature in terms of for the installer. So what you've got all of these features, and they're all designed to try and make you more efficient, more profitable. What would you say, or how would you say Business Pilot has helped you become more efficient at insulating windows?
Well, I alluded to earlier on about the time investment in terms of setting it up. We got to the stage where I could take away all of the need for paperwork because we had contract templates through Microsoft Word, which proved invaluable. And it does prove still to this day invaluable to me because I'm able to just literally knock out a contract, as I say to my guys, and I can do that in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I can save it to Adobe, sandwich it with my Tommy Trinder, which you guys, of course, are integrated with, which is possibly my second favorite part of Business Pilot. But it makes my life so simple. And as a salesperson, we hate admin. Like, we're not fans of admin at all.
Yeah.
Any salesperson you talk to, no true salesperson likes doing that. But your system makes it so much simpler and allows me the time to manage the business and, most importantly, get out and do a bit of selling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly that. So, I mean, all of that time saving equates to money saving to me. And
Yeah.
you know, you've heard me say before, I want Business Pilot to genuinely not just write it down on a bit of marketing paper, but to genuinely create return on investment for our installers. And we get lots of people giving us lots of different anecdotal bits. Some are big numbers, others are just lots of time saving. When I think of return on investment, like for you guys, have you got specific examples where you could say, look, you know, this saves me that amount of money, or this saves me that amount of time, or, you know, again, have you got things there?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, for me, we were at the start of my time with the business, we were quite overstaffed in the office. And, you know, for some people have got a different view on this, but as the guy now in charge of the bottom line, it's saved the need for 2 jobs. It's saved the need for 2 salaries.
Yeah.
In comparison to, you know, what's not that heavy a cost for Business Pilot, in comparison to 2 members of staff, it's a great saving. And in terms of what it teaches, you know, the existing the staff that I've retained, the things that it's teaching them with regards to the process and how I can be truly in control of the pipeline, how I can be in control of leads and everything like that. It's probably saved me more than that. I don't think I could quantify a financial saving, but I could at least say 2 members of staff that I've managed to reduce by because of this system.
It's interesting because, you know, it's always a sensitive topic, because when we have this conversation, it sounds like Business Pilot helps you fire your staff, but that's not actually it. What it does is it helps you to put them onto more effective roles rather than just managing the day-to-day admin. You know, it helps you to redeploy them, and then should they choose to leave, you don't have to re-recruit. You know, so I don't think, you know, I mean, Business Pilot, the job slayer might not be a great title for us. It's not about doing that. It's very much about, let me put them to good use rather than just repeating the same input of information multiple times, or, you know. So no, that's really good. you know a lot of the team at Business Pilot. For me, it's always been about the people. It's not about software. Software is just it's a big part of what we do, but it's about the people. So I wonder if you could just talk about the interactions you've had with the team. You know, you can name or you don't have to name specific people, but just how have the team been in terms of supporting you and your business?
Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, we've we've been on the journey with you guys for a while. Obviously, it started out with just a few of you guys, wasn't it? Like the Ryans of the world, the Rebeccas of the world, and such. It wasn't too big a team, and you guys have grown as well, which is really nice.
Yeah.
We've had a few beers at trade shows. It's been wonderful. But do you know what? For the serious stuff, when any times for when the systems I've done something wrong on the system, our business hasn't been amazing, you guys have been a pillar of support to us, and certainly the Business Pilot community for me and my development in this industry, it's been invaluable. It's so much more than a subscription to a piece of software. We're almost subscribing to a way of business and a way of being, and that's massively important, especially now in this competitive marketplace. And I've got to tilt my hat to you guys, my metaphorical hat, of course. I've got to tilt that to you because you've connected me with some great people, and you've connected my business with other great businesses, and that has been such a huge help, especially because I came into this industry without a lot of experience, and that has really proven this has been the golden ticket. And I say the connections that I've made with people have been invaluable.
It's really important. We talk about Business Pilot community because that's what we want it to be. And I know, at things like the Fit Show, when we've had people look at the software and they realize how many other installers, are involved. And especially when they know the two Ryans run installation companies as well as being directors in Business Pilot. And they'll say, well, oh no, I'm not sure that's for me, because you'll get to know how I'm doing things. And I sort of say, I'm not so sure you're right for Business Pilot, because we are a community of people who share with each other how we're doing things so that everybody can help everybody else out. And I've seen you at training days, for Business Pilot training days, coming out with just how you're doing things, and that's really helped somebody. And I've also seen people doing that and it's helped you, and you're not alone in it. I'm just painting a picture of what it's like for everybody in the Business Pilot community, where we're all sharing best practice with each other and learning from each other. And the entire thing that I've just said didn't even talk about software. And yet actually, let's remember, Business Pilot is a bit of software, but the Business Pilot community is about installers helping installers. And it's, it's certainly something I'm massively proud of, just as proud of the community as I am the software. Okay, so here's one for you then. Somebody has a metaphorical person, an example. So they've just signed up to Business Pilot. So we're not trying to sell them on the benefits of Business Pilot. They've already signed up, but it's day one. They're still waiting for their training. So they've not even been on the onboard yet. What would your advice be to them?
Do you know what? I think the first thing to realize is, rather than looking at it as a piece of software, I think the best way to look at it is to look at the problems that it's going to solve for you. So look at what your key priorities are, your 3 focus points, or whatever analogy we'll put on this. But look at what it's going to solve for you. Are you looking at this software to make your day-to-day operations simpler? Are you looking at this software to make your financial management easier, your lead management, your pipeline? There's so many elements, and it can be overwhelming. We were really lucky when we onboarded. Obviously, we were under the guidance of Rebecca, who was great. And obviously, I know you've got Arvin now that I've met, and she also seems like she's going to really kind of help guys just get on board and grow with it. It's going to look overwhelming in terms of inputting all of that data, but I've used the term in this video already about return on investment. That time that you take at the start to put your database in, to, you know, feed it with the numbers. You're feeding a monster, and that's going to be a delightful monster that's going to make your business so much more efficient.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to unpack there from what you just said. You know, it's I talk about seeing it as an onion and just peeling the layers. You know, not one of those onions that's going to make you cry, you know, but maybe at times. But you know, you don't have to use every bit of Business Pilot on day one. There are people who've used the system for years and they still don't use everything. You know, what you've got to do is, as you've just said, what are you, let's say 3 focus points. Actually, I quite like that. You know, so what are my 3 focus points? Okay, let's fix those. Once I've fixed those, I'll come up with another 3, of course, because really what we're talking about is what is the burning issue. Well, when you get rid of one burning issue, funny enough, another one turns up. You know, it was just hidden before, you know. So I really like that. And then in terms of that support, you know, it doesn't matter if it's one of the trainers or whether it's support or customer care. There is a whole team in place to wrap their arms around you. You know, they've got a specific brief, which is to ensure that our installers make a success of this, of their business, you know. And so, you know, tap into it because it's there, you know. And so I think there's some great advice in that. I really do. So really the importance of this conversation was just to share what our conversations would be like, almost if we were down the bar, if we were just chatting at Fit Show, a training day, whatever. And that's what we've had. Is there anything else you would say to somebody watching the video, or do you think we've sort of covered things off? It's not really a question, it's just in case I've missed something.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, for me, I've always said to you guys that you're solving a problem that some people don't even realise that they have.
Yeah.
It's so easy in business to become consumed with what you do and how you do, and a lot of people that I've met, the older heads, the younger heads in this game, are all kind of set in their way. You guys are the disruptor. And it's a positive disruption because, you know, you took us away. You took most of us away anyway from a cardboard keyboard with little tickets sticking out the top that could easily be moved around. Whereas, you know, Business Pilot is that consistent record that, you know, I can look at in the middle of the night if I want to. And sadly, sometimes I do. It's just the ability, and where businesses all evolved during lockdown and things like that we've been through, the fact that we had your software solve those problems and made it so much more efficient, time efficient, financially efficient. And, you know, if there's people that aren't embracing that side of business at the moment in terms of, you know, getting on with software, digitalizing their processes, they're going to get left behind. And for the investment of time and the investment of a monthly subscription or a quarterly subscription to you guys, it's well worth it. And hopefully you guys have got tons and tons of videos of people like myself that are dead happy with the system and are just championing the idea of everyone and anyone getting involved with you guys.
We have, and well, thank you first of all. You know, I mean, I know, you know, from many conversations we have, I know you're a huge ambassador for us, and I really appreciate it. We you know, we never expect it, we just appreciate it. And you know, I'm a man of many analogies and stories. You know, I should be doing parables.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have this thing where I say, be brutal internal so that you don't get beaten up external. And what that really means is I'm all about really being tough on yourself. You know, we could sit and coast for a while on Business Pilot, and let's face it, a lot of people wouldn't notice it. It'd still be by far the best system, you know, and so on. But that's how you end up getting beaten up externally, you know, to use that thing. And we are so driven on a daily basis, you know, we get 5-star reviews on our training, and yet we sit every month and work out how can we improve our training department, you know, you know, and yet we're getting 5 stars. And I think that really drives us, and we focus on that more than just trying to tell everybody else how amazing we are. Because then what happens is as you say, there's many videos, many people, more to the point, like yourself, that will say, you know, amazing things about us. And it's far better that we focus on being amazing rather than just trying to tell everybody we're amazing, you know. And
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it, Mike. That's it from me.